Hello, everybody. So, I am getting ready to on Sunday leave, and I'm going to be gone almost a week. And so I have to make these videos and stack them up. So, this one you'll see tomorrow, or tomorrow you'll think, oh, she must have made it yesterday, right? But I did want to try this Sheena water fusion thing again with the watercolors. I want to get better at it. And I want to just kind of try mixing some colors and seeing, how it all works. And if you didn't see it the first time, and maybe you'll be interested in seeing how it works and, the inks. I don't know. We're just going to play around with it a little bit. And I think I got this Crafter's Companion watercolor card. Ooh, I gotta keep this in here. Usually you can tell by feeling it that it's watercolor, but it's nice to just be able to pull it out and see without having to open it up and look and feel. So we're gonna play, and I think I might just cut this in half, and we'll just kind of play around and see how it goes, because I'm not so sure how this is gonna go. I want my stamp positioner, and we are gonna use their disappearing ink, and I've got my favorite brush. There was a set of brushes that came with it. I wanted to try them out too for you, and I don't know where I put them. I am the worst at losing things, and I got to improve on that for sure, because this is getting crazy, right? I mean, I know, so I made a bunch of videos to stack up while I was going camping, and I always make a mess when I do that because I just don't get them cleaned like I should. And, I feel like I'm in a rush, and I don't want to take the time. And shame on me, I need to take the time and be cleaning up after I finish. But, oh, look, that opened. It actually opened without me having to cut it. This one I'm a little nervous about. See how it shows it's just the pieces. And you have to figure out how you're going to put them together. So I'm going to just start with just the rose. This isn't the one I did before, right? I was sure I did the other one before. Okay, and it's just gonna go. I'm gonna put it up a little bit. Yeah, let's put it up about there. Okay. And I got the disappearing ink, and I want to make sure it's good enough that I can see it well. Look at, it's disappearing on the ink pad. It's turning white. I don't know if that could be a bad sign, meaning this ain't gonna last. This ink, we'll see. Because it looked purple when I first opened it, and it's been sitting closed. So yeah, I can't even barely make that out. So this might not be the ideal situation, and maybe not worth getting. As much as I hate to say it, I mean, the idea is fantastic, but if it won't keep in the ink pad, then it's not going to do us any good, right? And I hate to say anything. That's a little better, but I used kind of this tip here, and then right here needs more. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. I don't want to be guessing. So there is something Sheena said a while back that maybe we'll try also, because really this is not this is not impressing me. So I did get the image to show. It's light, so it depends on the color you're using. But light is okay, as long as we can see it, right? It's okay for it to be light. It's what it is. It's like a quilting or sewing ink. And it usually comes in like a pen. And then when you apply heat, like you iron it or whatever, it disappears. And so people were using them like for their stencils and stuff. And so crafters, I guess some people said, why don't you put it in an ink pad? And so they did. But it's got to stay good, right? It's got to work. It can't just, you open it and that's it, then it's not good no more. Now, these are the Sheena inks that came with the set. And these are nice. I'm not going to say they're not. I don't like this piece. This piece here really bothers me. Look how much room that takes. And I don't need it to take up so much room. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray all of them because I don't know which ones I'm going to use. And I'm going to spray the whole thing, and just not a lot, just kind of lightly. Just, they say to wake them up. It wakes them up. I need some water on my brush. I'm gonna put some water. I'll put some water in here. Get my brush wet. Okay, so we have a rose. I'm gonna check out the different reds. Oh, that's kind of purpley. So I want it to be a red. I don't want it to be purpley. So where am I going to find a real red? Is this going to be... There we go. That's not the same one, is it? That was kind of purpley. Huh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was my imagination. I don't want it really dark. I want it to be pretty light, so I'm going to put some more water in here. You can't see it. See this thing in the way? There we go. So I added more water in here because I wanted to make it lighter. And I don't want too much wet. And I'm just gonna come in. Okay. So I can see that this is very light. Thank goodness, because I thought it was gonna be darker. So I'm right now just gonna spread it over the whole image. And the water is not moving the ink. So I used this before. I'm just getting this laid down, and then we can come back in and add some darker spots. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So I might want to come in and get some more color in here and get this a little bit darker. So I know the inside. Whoa, too much water. Whoa, 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 too much water. How do I save that? I'm just wetting the tip. Just the very tip. Hmm. I think I'm going to color that whole piece right there in. There we go. I'm just kind of trying to guess here. How this should be. Just barely dipping that in. And I'm not doing any straight lines. No straight lines here. I'm going to give that a little bit of extra color. And I might make this all colored in. Get a little line here. I'm just sort of guessing at this, and as it's sinking in and drying, it's kind of lightening a little bit, so maybe all I'm going to do is outline it, maybe color some of them all the way in, but not all of them. Okay, what do we think? How does that look? For me, I think that's pretty decent, but I do think there are some spots that I think even still just need to be a little darker even, because it's lightening up as it's drying. I'm just looking for any lines I've missed. I don't know. Where was I going to take this? Oh, here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do at this point, so let me clean my brush. I just love this brush, this Nouveau. It's a 9, I think, or a 6. I love it. It just works well for me. I mean, it did have that little accident in the middle there. Here's my issue now with this, is I want this actually to be darker. I want darker in here. And so I'm gonna come in, let's wake that back up and see. Oh, that's very, very violet. Now if I add brown to it, it might darken it, but it's also going to dull it. And it's not looking super bright on the card. So I'm not sure that I want to do that. I should have a water bottle. I got a water bottle, but I should have something for my brush. I thought this would work, but no. Let's try adding, what is that? I thought that was brown, but that looks like red. That is not gonna do what I want it to do. So that's not what I want. I need these to all be, you can really see the colors better when they're wet. It really does matter. I don't know if you can tell. So I think I need to add like some brown or something, make it darker. I don't think that's gonna do it either. So let's get some brown over here. Ooh, that's darker, all right. But it took, it's too dark now, right? It's too much brown. This is not watercolor card, but that's too much brown. And you saw it was such a tiny dab. But now I need to get some red back into it. So I didn't need that much brown. That, I think, is probably gonna work. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna come and do some of these other spots and darker. I want some of the center definitely darker. You know, I'm looking at this, and that background red color, this looks like it's gone. I'm gonna get some of these and just make them darker. Am I going back over all the same ones? Have I already darkened them and you just can't tell? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what this is gonna look like. It looks horrible to me. See, they just brushed it and went from darker to lighter. Maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. I hate that piece. Ooh, and I hate to use that word, and I just did a bunch of times. Used that same word over and over and over again, didn't I? I don't like the way it looks. Let's see if this does good. It's definitely giving some color back to it. That looks actually much better. What do you think? I think that was more what I was trying to do. See, my ketchup squirt bottle is working wonderful. Oh, you can't see over there. This is what I put my water in. And I squirted a little puddle over here on my glass mat and using that to clean my brush. Wiping it on my paper towel, and it's working great. Great that way. Okay, I'm gonna bring my heat tool over and I'm gonna dry it. And let's see what it looks like, and then we'll decide about continuing or trying something different or whatever. Let's see what we get. some of the ink is not leaving. So let me try flipping it over. That didn't help. You don't see the ink color, but you see the lines. The ink is not disappearing. And I had this problem last time, and I thought maybe it was just a weird thing. But I don't know if you can see them in there. But they're there. And it's warm even still, so it's not that I didn't heat it up. But for some reason, that's what's going on. So now, let me wipe the red off. And I'm not going to worry. Red is a color that will stain anyways. And I'm not going to worry about it if it's making a mess on this lid. Because every time I see somebody that does water paint, their water paints look a mess. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get these stamps. And I'm going to get these. And I'm going to do 1, 2, do we want to do a little bud? Let's do a little bud like they have on theirs coming up. They got theirs kind of going straight up. Let's do the smaller one. Like they've got over here. Except I'm not doing the leaf. That's a lot for me. And I don't want to do that much, so. Just because it's a lot for me. It's something that you have to kind of learn. For me, so y'all watched my videos, you know how I get when something doesn't work out. And I keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And so I have learned that when some stuff is hard for me, that it's easier if I just allow myself to limit myself on how much I do, right? So I'm gonna do, this is hard for me, but I'm gonna do 2 leaves and a bud. I'm not gonna try to do the whole thing. If I do okay and I feel good about everything when I'm done with these, then I can go on and do more. It just, you know, depends on how I'm doing. So let me just put it that way. That's an easiest way probably to do it, because I really want to make stuff work, and especially I know people watch my channel, and the good thing is that I have found, and I was really surprised, that a lot of people that that watch my videos, when they see that something's not working for me, and I'm like, it's not working for me, they will come on and say, well, you know, try this or do that, or I used that too, and this is how I got it to work, and then it works, and, you know, and then I'm happy. Because I hate to make somebody think something didn't work, and it's my fault, right? So very, very light, but I'm going to try it very, very light because of the fact that the ink is stained. And so I'm thinking maybe I just can't do all the different where I can see it real well. Maybe it just has to be very, very light. Maybe. I know I got these leaves backwards. I know I do. So that's all right. See, I think I was supposed to do it that way. All right. But anyways, I got these leaves and this rose. I'll move my positioner. And we're gonna work on greens now. So I got my brush, a new paper towel. I'm gonna get my little water and I'm gonna pour me a little bottle right there in my squirt bottle. Is right here. So I'm gonna do the green. So I'm gonna come in with these greens. There's greens. There's a few of them. So like Sheena, she's always mixing colors together. So I like the light green. I'm gonna put me some water in here too. This is out of water. So I can get my little hot dog ketchup dispenser and pour me some water in there, and it's no problem. Right? So that was what made me say, hey, maybe I need to use that. Okay, so I got a little bit of green here, but that's a very light green. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use it for my bottom layer. So it's going to come down from the leaf, and I'm going to follow the leaf. And just do it. I know I am not doing it the way it's supposed to be done, but this is the best way for me at this point, is to get that one layer of color on there first. And I'm still learning and playing, and like I said, I don't know nothing about, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about watercolor, and I know there's plenty of you that do. So please don't be critical. I'm trying here. Now I have something in mind for the flower part of the bud. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna get that off, and I'm gonna squirt again. And I have to decide which green do I want. And I think I'm gonna come to this one and try just mixing these two together. Because I think that other one's too dark. And this one's so light, and the other one's too dark. Okay, now, I have to make a point of saying this. When I first stamped the image of the leaves and the bud, if you can see, you can barely see that. ink. But now that I've added watercolor, look at how you can see that ink. Even though it doesn't look like ink, it just looks like lines. I don't understand why. You know, I don't know. I don't know why. Okay. If I use such a little bit of watercolor every time I paint, these paints are gonna last forever. Right. Okay, I'm gonna come up. Too much water. Trying to absorb some of that back. But look how that ink is becoming the vein on here. Like I put the darker green, you can't even see the paint, but you can see where the ink line is. That's weird. And that's why it doesn't want to disappear, I think. Okay, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna get just a little touch because there's just a little turn here. Oh, that might have been too much. That was too much darker. But I get some of it off, just not much. Now, here's what I always say. When they're new, some leaves are lighter when they're new and they're very shiny, right, and bright, and then they darken. Some of them come out and they're real dark, and the light, the sun, bleaches them and fades them out. I'm going to say that these have been faded out. And so, really, I'm sorry. These have been darkened. They've been faded. These ones have been faded out. This one is still dark. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm making this a little bit darker. Now what I want to do is I want to come in, and my bud is going to be darker because it's a bud. It's new, fresh. So it's gonna be darker also. So I'm gonna take this one, and I don't want too much water or too much color, but I do want it. Of course, it's watercolor, so it is what it is. All right, that's it. Now, let's see if the ink comes off this time. Let me clean my brush here in this water. me get this water out so I don't get this back in here. We're gonna play a little bit still, but I wanna blow dry and see if that I didn't stamp it twice or 2 or 3 times, that it maybe that's my problem, but I don't know. It's scorching the paper, and it's still there. So, I say that doesn't work. So if you want, I mean, it still looks good to me. It's because it's taking on the color that you're putting down. And so that's okay. It just isn't disappearing. So we aren't getting this kind of result because the lines are still there, right? All right, now let's play. Now, let's wake up our colors. Let's wake it up, let's wake it up. Whoops, that's what I meant to do. Wake them up. I want to know about these colors over here. So, let's do this. Let's get some of these colors over here. Let's try the orange. I don't know about orange. Let's see. Let me cut this paper in half. Let's spritz it a little bit first. Just get it ready to take some of that color in. Boy, that's really light. This is like a pastel kind of color. So super light. Super, super, super light. Not my favorite color, for sure. Let me dry it. Okay, dried. Now, let me think. I'm gonna get water down here, clean my brush. I mean, you're really not gonna contaminate your ink, your paints, because it's watercolor. You just wipe it off. I'm gonna keep with these pastel colors over here and see what I get from them. See if they're still just gonna be too pastel. Now this definitely is pink, and I didn't water it down as much. Now if you don't want to waste it, come in with another piece of paper. At this point I'm gonna dry. Kind of like the way that turned out. That one drop doesn't want to dry. So I'm just gonna take a paper towel because I need a new one anyways here. Let me grab that. And I'm just gonna dot that off because it's just not wanting to dry. Okay. Now let's do a little bit of water. Get my brush. I'm gonna not worry that I'm getting a little bit of color in that water because there's not enough really to do anything with. I'm gonna squirt my paints again. They're drying up really quickly here. So I'm gonna get the green. Ooh, no. I'm gonna change that, and I'm gonna grab blue because that green with the little bit of mix in there, it looks really bad. So, ooh, boy. Not a fan of this color either, but let's get some of it on there. Maybe it'll look better on the paper. I'm just sticking it in, sticking it down, seeing what comes up when I bring it up. Maybe I'll work on the whole area here because it's coming so pudgy that I can keep layering colors and colors and colors. And I'm gonna get something, I think, just very multicolored. It's almost dry already. Okay. Well, it was already almost dry. So now I'm just gonna come in I'm gonna clean my brush over here. But now I'm just gonna bring in the blue in. I might get quite a bit of that just to make it darker. Make it pretty dark. That was way more than I wanted. That's very watered. Okay. I didn't want it that wet. I don't know if that's going to mess up the rest of the other colors, so I'm going to dip it really quick. It's still not really covering the other colors. I'm going to dry it quickly so that it doesn't ruin this card here. We make all the colors just run into one color. I want to dry it quickly because it's very wet. We lost that green blue in there. It's gone. I'm going to do the back. See if that helps to bring it down. It's not. It's not helping bring it down. Okay. Ooh, that's hot. I have to do one more color, and I'm sorry. I gotta do purple on here because I just got to. Because I don't know why. I just have to. I just have to do some purple on there. I think. Okay, I'm gonna easily. And I'm gonna. Oh. That squirted way out over there. Get my brush clean. And that didn't need so much. I'm gonna squirt my purple and get it ready. That's the purple I'm wanting. I'm gonna get some water here and pick up purple. I want it darker than that. Okay. That's wetter too than I wanted. I don't know what's the matter all of a sudden. I can't do it the way I was doing it. Was I spraying that and now I'm squirting it or what? There we go. Just kind of turning and sticking it in there. What do you think? What do we think? Let me dry it. Very spotty looking. What do you think? Still wet. I don't know what I was thinking. This is way more fun than trying to paint an image. It just is. Look. So you can see pink, and the pink, there's like lighter tones and darker tones of it. Purple did the same thing. We got the blue. Kind of lost that bluey green color. But this will work. This can be a background for something. I'm not going to worry about, I'm going to take this water off. I don't have to worry out here about mold and mildew and all of that. It's too dang dry for that. Believe me, it's dry. So I'm going to close this. I need this piece off. It irritates me. I don't use it. I need it off. All right, everybody. Here's what we did. So, if you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. Everybody have a blessed day, and please join me again. Bye-bye now.